Well, the managerial search continues at Wolves, but over the last day or so there has been a fairly big name linked with the job. If any of you Wolves fans haven't yet subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button, smash that like button before we get into it, and let's go into the video. What's going on, guys? This is Dave, and welcome back to another Football Manager experiment. It's something a little bit different today. We don't do many Wolves ones, but today or in the last couple of days, Nuno Espirito Santo has been linked with the Wolves job. Now, he may well be confirmed by today. I'm recording this on the morning of the 25th, I think it is. And he may well be confirmed this afternoon or early next week. So hopefully we'll try and get this video as soon out as soon as possible. As you can see on the screen, if you guys aren't familiar with Football Manager, the stats are rated out of 20. So he's got some pretty good stats for championship level, if I'm honest. Defending of 17, 12 for his coaching as well at attacking, 14 for goalkeeping. He was an ex-goalkeeper. 15 for mental, 15 for tactical, 14 with working with youngsters, which is good. Tactical knowledge of 15, motivation of 15, adaptability of 15, determination of 14, judging player ability and potential both at 13, and level of discipline at 12. As you can see down here, he managed Rio Ave very, very well in Portugal, got the job at Valencia and got them into Champions League with very little budget, and Porto as well, where he finished second this season and left the role. Scouting knowledge for him is Portugal, Spain, Brazil, I think that's Sao Tome and Principe, Argentina, Russia, Greece and England. So Nuno Espirito Santo is the man that we're going to get Wolves to lead forward to. Now, as you can see by the date at the top right, it's already on the 25th of May, and that's because I've used a custom start date to kind of get us to the date we are at today. It's actually the 26th, sorry. I'm being stupid. It's 26th today, so ignore what I said earlier about the 25th. So, as you can see, Wolves have already finished their season. Unfortunately, Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham gone to the final rather than the actual other two teams, so that'll be the only difference. But as you can see, Wolves finished 15th, the exact same position where they finished. Everyone, Wigan, Blackburn, Rotherham all went down. So we're going to skip forward to the end of next season, what would be next season, and we're going to see how Nuno Espirito Santo can get on as Wolves manager. So let's get into it. So then, we're at the end of the 2018 season. There's no Wolves or anything on available jobs or insecure jobs from what I can see. So let's check out how he's going to have got on. He's still the manager of Wolves. As some of his stats look like they've kind of rounded off a little bit as well. And his scouting knowledge looks about the same, which is quite surprising. Normally you see that change quite a lot. We forgot to go through the formations that he prefers as well. It's a 4-1-4-1 defensive midfield apparently. But I know that he kind of plays like a 4-3-3 as well. So it'll be similar to see how he does play for Wolves. That's sort of similar to what we play. We normally play like a 4-2-1-3 really. No, 4-2, yeah, 4-2-1-3. Is that right? Yeah, about right. So yeah, Wolves as a team, they're finishing 12th this season, which is quite surprising and quite poor really. And I'm surprised he stayed at manager, finishing mid-table. Still got Norwich and Reading to play the playoffs, but Wolves finishing 12th. It was very, very close throughout most of the season by the looks of it. 64 points and a lot of teams on 60, 62, 64, 66. So it's quite close towards the middle of the league. So Wolves, unfortunately, they could have gone either way, really. Let's see who brought in first season. He brought in 3 players. Frank Bambok from Huesca, Alberto Lora from Gijon, and Tom Davies on loan from Everton. Players that left, Niall Ennis left on a permanent deal, 1.2 million, possibly rising up to 4 million. Out on loan at Shrewsbury at the moment. Scored 20 goals in League One, absolutely banging them in. Dan Armstrong, Brighton Bakari, Will Randall and Sylvain Deslanders all went out on loan. Let's have a quick look at these guys. So Frank Bambok, defensive midfielder, didn't play a lot, only played 6 games with 1 substitute appearance. Alberto Lora, he played only 8 games, 5 times coming off the bench as well. It looks okay, but a right back option. And then Tom Davies came in on loan, central midfielder, played 36 games, a 19-year-old on loan from Everton, scoring 3 goals in the league. Now, in all competitions, let's see if they got any cup glory. Did any competitions take their mind off anything? Not really. Knocked out by the Baggies West Brom won in the second round of the EFL Cup. That was won by Newcastle. And then they lost out in the third round of the FA Cup against Crystal Palace. And Spurs went on to win that as well. Now, interestingly, top goal scorer was John Daddy Bodvarsson. If we have a quick look at the stats, most appearances this season was Helder Costa, which you'd expect. John Daddy Bodvarsson scoring the most goals with Nuno Espirito in behind. That's what I'm surprised at so far. He's not actually tried to sign a good striker yet, which Wolves definitely need. Most assists, 8 for Connor Cody, 6 for Romain Saiss. And then best average rating was Danny Bart, Mike Williamson just behind him, Jack Price in there as well. But those two hadn't played as many games as Danny Bart, so he's done very well to get that good average rating. Now, we're going to skip forward another year. Where were Wolves actually predicted to finish this season? Because obviously they were media predicted 10th, to be fair. But if we skip forward another year, I think if Santo brings in a striker, Wolves have got a real chance. And I think goals are their main downfall at the moment. But it shows something that the defenders are getting the good average rating. So bringing a striker, they could well be within a chance. So let's skip forward to the end of the 18-19 season. So here we are then at the 31st of May 2019. No Wolves coming up on the available jobs or insecure jobs. However, Manchester United available, interestingly. So let's type in Nuno Espirito Santo. And now he's the manager of Southampton. Okay. So he's jumped ship, which I didn't expect at all. Stats again look like they've increased slightly. But he's now jumped ship at Southampton. I'm guessing in the Premier League. Yeah, mid-table team in the Premier League. Interesting. So, he's obviously left Wolves. Now, what's happened there? Wolves are 6th in the Championship. Chris Wilder is the manager there now. And they won the playoff final. So, Wolves are actually going up. Wolves are getting promoted to the Premier League this season. We'll have a look at them in shortly. But when did Espirito Santo leave Wolves? If you go on to achievements, he left a day after Boxing Day, so around Christmas. Right then, let's see where Wolves were at that point. If we go on to Championship and we go into past positions, Wolves, who got promoted the 27th of December. He left here when we were 8th in the league, so possibly looking at a playoff spot. But look at this, Wolves, right at the death on the last 2 games of the season, snuck into the playoffs and stayed there, and they've gone and won promotion. Incredible. Now, how close was it? It was fairly close, but it's between Wolves and Norwich, really, and Wolves got the upper hand and did it. Now, Wolves, let's check them out. Obviously, this experiment's about Nuno, but if we check out the managers, so he left. There was a caretaker manager in Neil McDonald who won 1, drew 1, lost 1. And then Chris Wilder came in. The Sheffield United boss, rather. Sorry to disrespect the Sheffield United fans there slightly. His stats are not as good as Nuno, as expected. But he did the job. He certainly did the job. And Wolves got promoted. 50% win ratio, which is good. 12 games won, 5 drawn, and 7 lost. Now we'll look at the combination of who they both brought in. So, Nuno, as expected, searching at his old clubs, brought in Sergio Ayala, who's a centre-half, played 25 times this season. Andrea Poli, the central midfielder, ex-AC Milan man. That's not a bad signing for Wolves, I tell you. He played 27 games. Charlie Taylor came in on free as well, the left-back, from Leeds. He did well for them as well this season. Ponk from Benfica. It wasn't long before we thought we'd see a Benfica signing. Again, not a bad signing. A lot of these players are actually getting quite low average ratings, so it's quite surprising that Wolves have done so well. A player that came in for Braga as well, using his Portuguese experience, Ruben Cacheta in from Braga, 19-year-old defensive midfielder. He looks pretty good. He obviously went out on loan to Crawley, played 15 games there. Diogo Dalot from Porto on loan as well, a right back, started 10 games, came off the bench 17 times. And then Adam Reach from Sheffield Wednesday, an attacking left midfielder. Again, more of a bench player if you have a look there. Wilder brought in one player though, brought in Mika. Was he the striker that Wolves were crying out for? He flipping was. 17 goals. Oh no, he's a... What am I on about? I thought he was a striker. He's a goalkeeper. So he played probably the majority of coming back. Oh, ignore me. Yeah, he was a goalkeeper. He conceded 17 goals. in 15 games. Now, players that left, there's a lot of loans. Morgan Gibbs-White went out on loan to Grimsby, did the business there, scored 16 goals from attacking midfield, which isn't bad at all. Dan Armstrong again. James Henry got released. He's now at Chesterfield. Carnap released, is retired. Saville released. Flat, Evans, O'Hanlon, Delico, a lot of players. Aaron Hayden, Nazon as well. Duckins Nazon left. The Haiti international. Jed Wallace as well. Conor Ronan out on loan. Ena Bakari. Courtney House went for 9.25 million to Burnley. So Wolves cashed in on him. Had a very, very good debut season in the Premier League. Ben Hiard went to Manchester United. He was a regen from Wolves. He looks incredible as well. Matt Doherty left for just under $1 million to Bristol City. Alberto Lora went out on loan. Ben Marshall left for 5.75 up to 7.25 million to Championship side Stoke. QPR loaned Frank Bambok, who Nuno signed last year. Nicky Gardiner went to Southampton as well. I'm guessing he's another region. Jack Ruddy as well. And Mike Williamson retired. He's now a coach. And Dave Edwards got released as well, surprisingly. But now he's retired as a coach as well. So that is the end of the experiment. Not as long as I was hoping, really. But Wolves promoted under Chris Wilder. What we'll do, we'll skip forward another year. We'll see where Nuno is. We'll see how Wolves go on in the Premier League, because it'll be quite interesting. Obviously, Nuno, if we have a quick look at him at Southampton, I know this isn't part of the experiment, but obviously he joined there. Did he join Southampton the day he left Wolves? I'm guessing. Yeah, he did. So let's see if he brought in anyone. He was the one that brought in Nicky Gardner. From Wolves. Look at that little ponytail or whatever is going on there. Jordan Rossiter from Rangers and Alberto Polosci, another AC Milan player. But yeah, let's jump forward another year and see how both Nuno Espirito Santo get on and Wolves. So we're now into the final year of the experiment to check out both Wolves and Nuno Espirito Santo. He didn't come up at the top anymore because he's manager of Brighton. He's jumped ship again. It doesn't look like he stays at club so long. His scouting knowledge has changed dramatically now at England with full along with Portugal. But he obviously got sacked or left Southampton before going to Brighton. So he was sacked as manager of Southampton on the 25th of the 11th. So he didn't last long as manager. He's now manager of Brighton, kept them up by the looks of it in the Premier League just about. So 25th of the 11th, let's have a quick look at what was going on at that time. They finished in the semi-final of the FA Cup, though. Who we're looking at 25th. It looks like, yeah, there, he was struggling big time. He was at 18th, so he was in the relegation zone, despite having a very decent start, and they just slid down the table there. So, yeah, and Wolves, look at that. Wolves finishing up in 8th. I never saw that. 53 points overall, quite a way off the top 6, but way off. Massive top half finisher. Chris Wilder's still in charge as well. Who did they bring in this season? Brought in Tom Cleverley on loan, Shane Long on a free, Tom Carroll, Ben Thompson, Kyle Monchehu from Charlton. No massive signings there. No big money spent. Brought in Rob Holding, big Tammy Abraham coming in, scored 7 goals. Brought in 8.75, so sold that Andrea Poli to Nuno Espirito Santo. But wow, Wolves having a big season there. But if you guys enjoyed this today, make sure you smash that like button down below. Hopefully we do get this Nuno Espirito Santo guy in. Let me know your thoughts. Do you want him? Do you not want him? Because by the looks of it, by his track record and by his history, I want him. He looks like a very decent manager. And originally today it was going to be a video about Wolves, like a kind of face-to-face one. So we've done a football manager one. Maybe we'll have that one over the weekend if he gets confirmed. If not, I've got another one up my sleeve somewhere. But make sure you smash the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. And I'm sure I'll see you all very soon.